Take a look at some of the recent results. Slovenia losing on Friday by 11 to Latvia in Riga. Meanwhile, Turkey getting the 10-point victory over Montenegro in Ankara. Turkey currently in second place in Group I behind the leader Spain. You see Slovenia at the bottom of Group I, close to being eliminated. So they will need a victory tonight to stay alive. Meanwhile, Turkey looking to make a little bit of progress. Coach Sharika has done a great job bringing in the young guys like Furkan Korkmaz, you see him there, as Cedi Osman, and as well bringing back the veterans Semih Erdin and Ersan Ilyasova getting stretched out. Meanwhile, for Slovenia, they will look to bounce back at home. Of course, the Slovenian national team, the reigning European champions, although Jasper Vidmar, Edo Muric, the champion guys, Anthony Randolph as well, struggling in these European qualifiers. Just 2 wins out of 7 games. So those 5 losses makes the task to qualify for the next round that much more difficult. Turkey currently on a 3-game winning streak. Things are clicking for that team, especially considering Cedi Osman and Furkan Korkmaz averaging close to 20 points per game, each of them actually. So Osman at 19.3, Korkmaz at 19 points per game over 3 games in the qualifiers. So we'll get the player introductions here for Turkey. You see Scotty Wilbekin, who had his a tough game for him by his standards. Just 2 points, no field goals on Friday. Did have 6 assists and 3 steals against Montenegro. Definitely the player of that game was Cedi Osman. 36 minutes, 18 points, knocking down 2 threes, and obviously very active all over the court. 6 rebounds and 3 steals for Osman. Meanwhile, despite Slovenia struggling against Latvia, shooting just 36%, they did get a strong game off the bench from Luba Rupnik, who had 19 points in 18 minutes. And Anthony Randolph in his first game of these qualifiers, also in double figures with 10 points and 6 rebounds, though he did shoot just 3 of 13. Now, of course, for these Slovenian fans, the prospects of playing Turkey will bring back a lot of positive memories from Slovenia's run in Istanbul, as they were able to defeat Serbia in the European Championship final. One of the nation's ultimate highs, but they are missing Goran Dragic, Luka Doncic, and Prepelic from that championship team. There are a couple new faces, though. One of them, Vlas Misičić, in just his second game for Slovenia in these qualifiers, had 8 points on Friday. Was very aggressive, had a couple of highlight plays as well. The 6'6" shooting guard will look to step up here tonight for Coach Trifunovic, as Slovenia looks for their 3rd win. But before then, we will have a quick pause in the commentary for the national anthems for both countries.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for both national anthems. First national anthem of Turkey.
have the Slovenian national anthem. So despite Slovenia coming into this one with a 4-game losing streak, and Turkey riding a 3-game winning streak of their own as the coaches and eventually the players exchange gifts at half court. Another sign of that FIBA sportsmanship we'd love to see. But yeah, obviously these two teams, very different forms. 3-game winning streak for Turkey, 4-game losing streak for Slovenia. And none of that matters at the opening tip, as these players will want to play for their fans. And you take a look at the referees for tonight's action. We see Manuel Mazzoni from Italy, Marek Chimikovic from Poland, and Martin Hodosov from Bulgaria. 3 referees who were involved at the Eurobasket last summer. Very familiar with these two teams. As you take a look at the Turkish roster, big names, Cedi Osman, Furkan Korkmaz, but also Semyerdin inside, of course, Ersan Ilyasova. And then Scotty Wilbekin will be running the point guard duties. No Ali Muhammad this time around. And meanwhile, as you see the starting 5, it's going to be Wilbekin, Dogish Balbai, Osman, Ilyasova, and then the big man Ege Arar getting the start over Erdin. So Coach Shurika changing things up a little bit. Meanwhile, for Slovenia, their roster features, of course, Anthony Randolph. You see Zagarac shooting the threes there in warm-up. But it's going to be down to Gasper Vidmar inside, patrolling the paint. And they'll see if they can get Rebic, the point guard, going a little bit quicker than he did on Friday. No points in the first half. Rupnik off the bench will be dangerous. And of course, Chanchar, the versatile wing, will be counted on. And you see Randolph makes his way into starting 5 alongside Ribic, Muric, Misicek, and Vidmar. So that means that Laportnik will come to the bench to start this one, as well as Cebicic, who started his first game for Slovenia on Friday. And Misicek, the young 21-year-old guard, really gained the trust of Trifunovic, played without fear against Latvia. Very aggressive on the offensive defensive end. Did just finish 2 of 9 shooting, but we'll see if he can replicate that aggression here tonight. Meanwhile, for Coach Shuraka and Turkey, we can expect them to really put the pressure on defensively. They like to force turnovers, they like to press, and they like to play or make the team kind of rush through their offense, which doesn't sound like too much of an issue for Slovenia, who comes in as the team with the highest number of points combined in their games. They've seen an average of 162 points. That's 81 points per team per game, more than any other of the European teams' games. Meanwhile, Turkey likes to slow things down as they average 139 points combined in their games. So obviously, we'll see whose tempo will be dictated here tonight. So we're just a mere moments away now from the opening tip here in Ljubljana. It's Group I, which is a combination of Groups A and B from the first round of these qualifiers. Turkey finishing at the top of the group alongside Latvia with 4 wins and 2 losses. Meanwhile, Slovenia finished 3rd in their group behind Spain, who obviously will always be a tough team, as well as Montenegro, who slipped in there with 3 wins and 3 losses. Montenegro currently 3-4 going into tonight's action. Slovenia 2-5. So they're not disqualified as of yet, and obviously still a lot more games to play, but they definitely need a win. This is a do-or-die game for Slovenia here tonight. So Vidmar will take the opening jump ball against Arar. And we are underway here in Ljubljana as Turkey will get the first possession of tonight's game. It's ball by. Quickly over to Wilbekin. You see Slovenia in a man-to-man defense. Ball by. Wilbekin pulls up for the long three and connects on his first shot. And that's got to feel good for Scotty Wilbekin. Again, no field goals on Friday against Montenegro. And knocks down his first three here tonight. The Maccabi player playing for the Turkish national team for the first time this summer. Here's Misicek inside to Vidmar. Back out to the 6'6" guard who gets fouled and knocks down the three. Chance for the end, 1 4-point play. And both teams off to a hot start here. Misicek, again, he's a confident young player. And you see the defender get him right on the wrist. Coach Sharika not too fond of that outcome of that first shot. I believe the foul's on ball by. And Misicek completes a 4-point play to start the game. We don't see that too often. Ilyasova setting the backcourt screen. Ball by. Over to Osman. And Shetty turns the corner. Finger roll scoop is going to be a goaltending there on Vidmar. So Shetty Osman, who a lot of people are, we're not going to say picking him out to replace LeBron James for the Cavaliers, but his role will definitely increase in the NBA this season. He's worked out a lot this summer with the likes of LeBron James and Kevin Durant. So Shetty Osman is one of those players to look out for in the world, and he's definitely the go-to guy for Turkey. Here's Vidmar inside now, backing Akar all the way down. No foul called. And Muric able to get the jump hook put back. So both teams putting points on the board on their first couple of possessions. Here's Wilbekin now. Over the ball by. He'll take the long three. Too strong. And the rebound ends up in Randolph's hands. Here's Ribic now. Tries to split the double team, almost traveled, and gets away with a likely double dribble. Ribic still with it. Takes the long three. That's the air ball. Not the prettiest possession that time for Slovenia. Ribic getting the mismatch. Decides to take the contested three. As we see on the other end. Balbai when he missed that shot, but here's Osman again, the playmaker. Ilyasova, nice pump fake. Finds the contact, can't finish over Randolph. Vidmar comes away with the rebound. And be on the lookout for Ersan Ilyasova's pump fakes. One of the best in the world at it, as well as taking charges. It's what he's known for. Here's Misicek. And again, Slovenia still looking for their identity without Dragic and Doncic. It's turnover here. Osman, he finds Ilyasova leaking out, and it's going to be an easy dunk there for Ersan Ilyasova. His first basket of the game. Turkey converting defense into quick offense. And here comes Muric now for Slovenia. Nice backdoor cut. Wilbekin able to get his hand on the pass. But the possession will stay with Slovenia. So early 7-6 lead for Turkey in the opening minutes. Ribic. Misicek again getting to the lane. Randolph thought about the three. Will take the three in the corner. In and out as the shot clock expires. Here's Osman probing. Takes a little jump hook himself. Off to the left. Here's Randolph again. And they get Vidmar ducking in inside. Bullies his way to the front of the rim. Can't finish. Muric a tip. No good. There's Randolph now. Another offensive rebound. Creates a space and knocks down the mid-range jumper. Is able to get rid of Osman with the ball handling. Some good footwork there from Randolph. And he's got his first 2 of the night. Ilyasova catch and shoot 3. Again, it's no good. And Ribic pushing the tempo up a little bit. There's Misicek, another 3. This time no good. Vidmar will draw a foul on Ilyasova as they battle for the rebound. So it's actually going to go on Arar, and he'll come out of the game. And Arar just played 11 minutes and fouled out in those 11 minutes on Friday against Montenegro. So he's basically there to use up his fouls. Did have 5 points as well. Here's Misicek. Vidmar, who really does all his damage by the rim. Oh, what a block! They're going to call a foul on Ilyasova. But you have to admire the bravery. Vidmar won up strong. Ilyasova seems to have got a lot of the hand, a little bit of the ball, or a lot of the ball, a little bit of the hand, but it's going to be a foul nonetheless against the Turkish big man. Never one to complain, Ilyasova. And Vidmar airballs the first free throw. And that brings a smile to some of his teammates' faces. Vidmar came off a 12.7 rebound performance against Latvia before fouling out. And he goes 0 for 2 on his first trip to the line. Slovenia also struggled on the free throw line overall against Latvia, one of their many struggles. And we see them now in somewhat of a zone defensively. And that leaves Wilbekin wide open. They got lucky that time as some players seem to have stayed in a man-to-man somewhere in zone. Now here's Randolph stepping into a long 2. The long rebound ends up in Osman's hands. Turkey with numbers. They find Wilbekin corner 3, and it's good again for Scotty Dubs as he knocks down his second 3 of the game already. And the University of Florida product making his impression felt here in the first quarter. So 5 minutes to go in the first. Turkey up 10-8. Muric, he'll take the long 3. Ends up with Randolph's offensive rebound, and Slovenia will reset. Ribic, Semi Erden is on them now. And good help side defense by Turkey with 2.4 on the shot clock. So Ribic looking for Vidmar there inside. And Ribic able to find Vidmar in the inbounds, a quick shot, and there's going to be a foul there on Semi Erden. So Vidmar will head back to the free throw line. As you see, Erden just a little bit out of position there defensively. So Vidmar, who came into the game just 48% from the free throw line, starts this one 0 for 3. And he's still scoreless, but Randolph showing off the good hustle. Able to get another chance here for Slovenia. Misicek. Shot clock down to 3. It's Vidmar back out. Misicek, corner 3. No good, and another foul underneath as Randolph had the inside position for the offensive rebound. And Turkey picking up a significant number of fouls here. Still no fouls on Slovenia. You see Osman there, the push with the left hand. And Slovenia will be in the bonus the rest of this first quarter. Randolph finally knocking down the free throw for Slovenia. as they have yet to pick up a foul. So 2 for 2 for Randolph. Three of 7 overall for Slovenia. And we're tied at 10. Here's Wilbekin again. Loses the ball. Numbers this time for Slovenia. It's Mesicek who leaves his feet, nowhere to pass to. And now Osman coming back the other way. Takes off, can't finish the layup. So up and down we go. Fast break action. Muric inside. Randolph throws it down. Much better execution that time, and a nice pass from Muric to Randolph. Leads to the one-handed jam for number 0. And then an offensive foul on ball by as he uses the forearm to push off on Ribic. So Slovenia definitely bringing the energy here in the first quarter. You see Randolph, nobody picks him up, and he's able to elevate and flush it down. So here comes Ribic. Randolph, who's really been a nice fit for this Slovenian team, and it's going to be an offensive foul on Vidmar, setting an illegal pick, trying to free up Mesicek. Take another look here as Wilbekin does a great job of fighting over the screen, and Vidmar picks up the foul. Meanwhile, Vlatko Chanchar, number 31, checking to the game for the first time. Chanchar, who's another key player here for Slovenia, as well as at the Eurobasket, was a starter in that tournament, coming off the bench his last couple games. Comes in averaging 13 points per game in the qualifiers. Meanwhile, here's Ilyasova. Nice pass to Erdin, and he gets the and one dunk. Randolph couldn't get there in time. And Semi Erdin with a strong finish. Nice pass that time from Ilyasova. See the tight space. Randolph just doing whatever he can to prevent the dunk, to no avail. Now Erdin with a chance for the three-point play. And he misses the free throw, but Ilyasova gets the putback, and it's a 4-point possession for Turkey as they regain the lead. Here's Rupnik in the game now for the first time for Slovenia again. He had 19 points on Friday. Randolph for 3, short, gets his own rebound, goes right at Erdin, and they're going to call an offensive foul, much to the dismay of Randolph, as he kind of lowered the boom right into Erdin's midsection. You see there the shoulder, and it's a tough call. He was below the semicircle, but not sure they considered it a help side rotation type of foul. So Randolph obviously picks up his second foul. Will now have to go to the bench. And that brings Jakub Cevicek, the 6'7" shooting guard, who also went scoreless on Friday. Randolph not too pleased, but he'll head to the bench with 6 points here early on and 5 rebounds. So a very bright start for Anthony Randolph. Here's Osman. Wilbekin gets to the lane, pulls up. Erdin collects the offensive board. Ilyasova, step back 3, gets fouled on the lower end. And 3 free throws to come here for Ersan Ilyasova as Cevicek protesting the foul. You see, seems like their knees might have collided. Ilyasova very good at accentuating the contact, that's for sure. And Slovenia went from no fouls to 4 fouls in a matter of sheer minutes here, as Ilyasova connects on the first. So 2 of the first 3 go down for Ilyasova. And he ends up 2 for 3. Chanchar, you see there that defensive pressure we talked about for Turkey. They look to trap. Cebicek in the corner, pays back as he knocks down the 3 of his own to get on the board. And that's Cebicek's first points of the European qualifiers for Slovenia. Here's Ilyasova now. Draws another foul on Cebicek. So more free throws to come for the veteran Ilyasova. Again, Cebicek pleading his case. Tough couple of calls for him. And Ilyasova can't hit another free throw. So 1 for 2 as Ilyasova splits the freebies. He now has 7 points on the night himself. As Lapornik checks into the game for the first time. Turkey with a 17-15 lead. And we also see Furkan Korkmaz, the youngest member of this Turkish team, just 21 years of age, but one of its brightest stars, no question. Also had a tremendous summer league with the Philadelphia 76ers in Las Vegas, including a 40-point game. There's Cebicek, loses it. Numbers for Turkey, and it's Osman, two-handed slam, and again, Turkey able to get the easy deuce off their defense. You see Cebicek loses the hand on the ball by, waits the perfect time for the ankle to the pass, and Osman with a two-handed flush. As Slovenia calls timeout for the first time. Down 4 with 1:42 left.
Hey, be careful with the fouls. Be careful. Just vertical jump.
So Trifunovic putting Randolph back into the game despite his 2 fouls. And again, Randolph leading the way with points and rebounds for Slovenia, so you can understand why. Meanwhile, in Turkey, for Turkey at least, Ilyasova with 7, Osman with 4, Wilbekin with 6.
Goes out like a trap that he grabbed the ball and passed back. Fake. Okay.
Şimdi şöyle yaptık. Ersen'i aldık.
See there the numbers. Balbay already with 4 assists.
Scotty geldi. Bizim ilk ofens for down oynuyoruz. Scotty için you will play for down.
You see the balance scoring here so far for Turkey. And Slovenia, who were in the game against Latvia pretty much the entire way through, went into that fourth quarter tied 60-60 before Latvia was able to pull it out in the fourth with a 25-14 run and make the score seem a little bit more further than it actually was. It was a close game throughout. Meanwhile, Turkey also having a pretty close game against Montenegro, though they did have the lead pretty much throughout that entire game. Now shot clock down to 5. Cebicek, long 3. Oh, drops. That's Lapornik. Excuse me. Michal Lapornik, who also went scoreless on Friday. One of 6 players who failed to score for Slovenia. He's able to get the 3 on the board here tonight. And here's Wilbekin again. And they keep going under the screen, so he keeps burying the 3s. Scotty Wilbekin already his third 3 of the night. You see a nice denial there from Wilbekin on Lapornik as well. Turkey playing good pressure defense. Randolph takes the mid-range 2 and knocks it down. Anthony Randolph providing all the firepower here in the first quarter for Slovenia, keeping them close. Semyurdin dives inside. Oh, good footwork for the big man, but he can't finish the layup. Now Slovenia with a chance to tie or take the lead on the final possession. Rupnik will pull it back out. Crosses over. Chanchar, corner three. Can't hit it. And Erden will get the final rebound of the first quarter. And after the first 10 minutes, Turkey, the 22-20 lead. That last shot from Cedi Osman did not count. The desperation full court shot. So after one, it's Turkey 22, Slovenia 20. And make sure you tune in starting this Saturday for the FIBA Women's World Cup in Tenerife. While we take a look at the stats for that first quarter, Turkey right down the middle, 50% from all areas of the floor, 2s, 3s, and free throws. Meanwhile, for Slovenia, a much brighter start shooting, though they're still just at 39% overall and 3 of 7 from free throw line. But the threes, 3 of 11 for Slovenia. They also out-rebound Turkey 16-7. Obviously, Turkey going 8 of 16 means that they had limited offensive rebound opportunities, but already 8 offensive rebounds for Slovenia, despite Turkey having the size advantage. Somewhat surprising.
With some pops or short rolls. Yeah, if he takes up, you go down and flash. Flash it high-low. Okay? Hey. Keep tempo. I missed corner. Still we need to have corner.
So you hear that, Coach Trifunovic, who knows how important this game is in Group I. Slovenia, again, just 2-5 coming into tonight. Montenegro 3-4, Ukraine 4-3. So it's essentially Slovenia has to win the rest of their games to potentially qualify for the World Cup. Meanwhile, Turkey looking to keep pace with Spain. At the moment, Spain with a 10-point lead over Latvia. They're in the third quarter of that game. And Ukraine and Montenegro also just getting underway. Here's Randolph. Pass up to 3. Nice pump fake. Gets to the free throw line. Oh, that's nicely played there from Anthony Randolph. Was patient the first go around. Got to his spot the second time. And he's already in double figures with 10. Now he's guarding Erden on the other end. Erden very patient on the block, turns, and misses another layup. You see Coach Shiriki on the sidelines fuming. As the great footwork there by Erden, but he can't finish. Lepornik over to Randolph. As Turkey switches it, and they're going to play through Randolph, who skips it over. Rupnik pulls up from the baseline, no good. Osman another rebound. Cedi gets to the elbow, short on his shot, stays with it. Gets to create another opportunity, turns the corner, nice move that time from Cedi Osman. Lures the defense to sleep, gets to the rim for the lay-in. So Cedi Osman now with 6 points to go along with his 4 rebounds. And they're going to call another illegal screen offensive foul against Slovenia. And we're going to have a timeout by Turkey as you see Cebicek using his backside to create room for Rupnik. And referees deemed that illegal, so will be a foul on him. Meanwhile, timeout on the floor. As you see Coach Shirika. Again, Turkey with its star players really stepping up here. Again, they have a 3-game winning streak coming into this one. Meanwhile, Slovenia, who started these qualifiers, 2 wins, 1 loss, have lost 4 straight since then and haven't won a game since February 23rd against Montenegro.
There is one player. 4 will stay. Hey, 4 stay up, top. Because he will help him. You are 4 now, on 5, on 5.
You see Randolph with 10 points. So Coach Trifunovic, who took the Slovenian national team job back in October, replacing Igor Kokoškov, who is now head coach of the Phoenix Suns. Kokoškov still remains as a consultant for Slovenia, but obviously his duties more full-time now. Meanwhile, for Turkey, Scotty Wilbekin will run the action. There's Ilyasova. He'll pull up for 3, just off the front rim. And Slovenia, yet again, with another chance to either tie or take the lead. They're looking for Vidmar, catches it way out. Goes at Erden and picks up the foul. So Vidmar, who loves to be kind of bruise the defenders, initiates the contact, and Erden picking up his second. As you see Erden's right hand there on his hip. Chanchar takes a long 3 and knocks it down right over Osman. You gotta love that. Vlatko Chanchar, who can be quite passive at times, very aggressive on that possession. Takes advantage of a little bit of space and knocks down Slovenia's 4th 3 of the night. Here's Erden again inside, going at Randolph, and the ball goes through the wrong side of the rim. Erden wanted the foul. Numbers now, Chanchar, can he make it 2 for 2? Not this time. And Osman with another rebound. Osman, who loves to fill up the stat sheet in so many different ways. And again, they play through Erden on the block. He's got Vidmar on him. Finds Ilyasova, contact, an offensive foul. Gasper Vidmar finding himself in the right help side position, draws the charge. As you see the head-on collision, Ilyasova coming down the lane. Vidmar slides over. Didn't seem to be entirely set, but it's going to be an offensive foul nonetheless as Chanley checks into the game for the first time. The 7-footer replaces Semi Erden. And Ribic also coming back into the game for Slovenia. So Slovenia up 1, despite Turkey's pretty good play here in the first half. Oh, great offense. Vidmar gets the dunk, and that's the kind of action that made this team the European champions. Perfect execution on that play. Leads to the wide open dunk for Gasper Vidmar. And fans loving that one as Ribic, getting a little bit carried away defensively, picks up the foul. We'll take another look, I'm sure, at that Vidmar dunk. And you see the passing, the ball movement, player movement. Vidmar, no help side defense whatsoever in the picture. And Wilbekin, nice little hesitation. And Meli Mamutoglu, who just checked into the game, knocks down a corner 3. Mamutoglu, who was one of the stars for Turkey in their run to the round of 16 last year, he gets a steal here. So Mamutoglu can't finish, but again, making his presence felt immediately. We have a tie game now, 27-all, as Wilbekin battling with Randolph on the block. See the mismatch. Slovenia looking to exploit. They find Vidmar again. He can't finish the layup through contact. Ilyasova now. And Wilbekin will call out the play. A little bit of confusion here for Turkey. Mamutoglu, he has that kind of range. Great defense from Ribic, and it's an air ball. And change of possession over to Slovenia. So we haven't seen Korkmaz get an open look as of yet, as Cedi Osman will come back into the game. You see the turnover numbers. Also, Dogush Babai, the former Texas Longhorn, will check back in from Amutoglu, who really made a brief appearance, just a couple of minutes. 1 3-pointer as Randolph, what a pass to Vidmar, who can't finish the first time or the second time. Oh, wasted chance there. Randolph with a pinpoint behind the back pass to find Gasper Vidmar. Here's Dogush Babai. Cedi Osman, corner 3, wide open. That's too easy for Cedi Osman. And he's now got 9 points, his first 3 of the evening. Good find there from Babai, who picks up his 5th assist already. Randolph looking to respond. Short on his 3. Chanley chases it down. And Turkey looking to run. Korkmaz, he's got room. Nice pass. Ilyasova with the jam. Great patience that time for Turkey. Korkmaz made the defense react to him and finds Ilyasova cutting down the baseline for the dunk. So timeout on the floor. Slovenia down 5. It's been a game of many runs here so far. And very exciting play back and forth, honestly, as we'll see what Coach Trifanovic can do to get his team settled down.
Hey, first of all, in defense, use small fouls. On offense, just be more patient and precise, okay? And if you see some mismatch, tear down. We need flash like you did it before. And pass to Garte, no problem. Give your pass there. Give your pass there. Okay.
So you mentioned the patience and precision there on offense. And you see, again, very balanced scoring here for Turkey. 3 guys with 9 points, doing a lot of their damage. Turkey, who's shooting 46% overall, including 5 of 9 from 3. Also 10 assists already for Turkey, including the last one here. Ilyasova putting Laportnik on a bit of a poster. Ilyasova, who will go back to the Milwaukee Bucks, was a prize free agent in the NBA this past season. Came to Philadelphia around the trade deadline in February and was pivotal in helping them get to the second round of the playoffs before they bowed out to the Boston Celtics. Meanwhile, Slovenia, with no current NBA players on this roster. Randolph, of course, formerly of the Warriors and New York Knicks, currently Real Madrid. Here's Laportnik, finds Randolph. Another nice pass, and Vidmar gets stripped. And they're going to call a technical foul against the Slovenian bench. Trifanovic, who refuses to believe that a man as strong as Gasper Vidmar can be stripped, picks up the technical. So, free throw to come now for Turkey. As you see, Mazzoni, the Italian referee, talking to Trifanovic as Ilyasova steps to the free throw line and calmly sinks the technical free throw. So 6-point lead now for Turkey. Ilyasova, the first Turkish player in double figures with 10. And ball by, knocking down the defender off the spin move. Osman gets to the spot. He can't finish. Chanley battles for the rebound, but Vidmar comes away with it. Vidmar hands it over to Laportnik. A little bit of room. Knocks down the 3. Second one of the night for Mahi Laportnik. Again, a nice bounce back game so far for him, as Miha was scoreless the other night. Here's ball by. Osman looking to respond. In and out on his 3. Ilyasova can't get the first tip nor the second one. Slovenia with numbers now Ends up with Randolph over to Ribic. Finding the trailing Vidmar, loses it. And the nice leak out as Korkmaz takes off for two. A beautiful find there from Osman. Korkmaz so athletic running that floor. And he gets his first field goal of the game. So 35-30 in what's been an exciting first half of basketball so far. And Slovenia's looked really good when the ball plays through Randolph. As Ribic from way out there can't knock down the three. And ball by. They're running through Ilyasova. Here's Osman. Finds Ilyasova, the baseline jump shot. Again, no good. And in the fight for the rebound, ball by, knocking over Ribic. So that'll be Turkey's third team foul. Just over 2.5 left here. And we're gonna have, it looks like Zagarac checking to the game for the first time. Sasa Zagarac, another one of those 6 players who was involved in the Eurobasket, gives Vidmar a much needed break. Randolph turns on the pace and knocks down another mid-range jump shot. So he's clicking on all cylinders here tonight. 12 points to go along with his 7 rebounds. Here's Osman on the feet. It's all the way to the basket for the dunk. Cedi Osman is playing just very good basketball every time he's in a Turkish uniform, it seems. And Randolph draws the foul on Ilyasova. But again, Cedi Osman, who with his size and ball handling ability finds the way to get to the basket. You see here a beautiful lead pass to Korkmaz for the dunk. And it's shortly after Osman able to turn the corner and get all the way to the hoop for the jam as well. So Scotty Wilbekin checks back into the game, replacing Lukas Balbai. And we're going to see Mehdi Turin as well for the first time. 6'9" power forward who didn't play on Friday against Montenegro will come in for Ilyasova. Ribic hands it over to Lapornik. Can he make it 3 for 3? Gets fouled on the shot. And Korkmaz has something to say about it with Mazzoni. You'll take another look at it here. Korkmaz who contests. And you see the left hand of Korkmaz meets the right hand of Lapornik. And although the contact may not have affected the outcome of the shot, 3 free throws to come for Lapornik. And he misses the first. So Lapornik, who's just a 50% free throw shooter, despite being a 60% three-point shooter. 1 or 2 here so far. He's able to go 2 to 3 in the free throw line as you see Ribic putting the pressure on Wilbekin here in the backcourt. Some great ball pressure from Ribic. Wilbekin not really deterred. Finds Shanley inside. Great point guard play there from Scotty Wilbekin. And Shanley gets his first basket off the beautiful dime. And Lapornik all the way to the hoop, can't finish the left-handed runner. Oh, nice little dazzling ball handling. Korkmaz, free throw jumper, that's too easy for him. As he knocks down his second field goal. Now the Turkish lead is up to 7 as we near the last minute of the first half. And Zagarac, his three-pointer, no good. Osman looking for Korkmaz, unable to complete the pass. It's going to be a turnover against Turkey. That's only Turkey's 4th turnover compared to 9 for Slovenia. And Markovic checks into the game for the first time. Markovic, who wasn't involved, Blaž Markovic, in the game on Friday, gets his first touch, finds Ribic for 3, and Ribic knocks down the 3. So Markovic, who just checks in and delivers a nice crisp pass there to Ribic, as we have a timeout by Turkey. Turkey still the 4-point lead. Just under a minute to go here in the first half. You see the rebounding numbers. Overall, Slovenia with 25-17 rebounding advantage over the Turks. And Randolph has been very positive here in the first 20 or so minutes, with the 7 rebounds to go with his 12 points. He's 5 for 5 from 2, 0 for 4 from 3 here so far. Does have the 2 personal fouls. And Slovenia, considering they're shooting just 39%, have to like where they currently sit, just down 4. You see Markovic with a very accurate pass. Ribic, when he's stepping into that 3 like that, can definitely knock it down. You see the fist pump there from Trifanovic. So another example of backcourt pressure here for Slovenia. Osman over to Chanley. Wilbekin hesitates, finds Turin, corner 3. No good that time, and Slovenia will get a chance to cut the lead down a couple more points here in the final possession of the first half. Shot clock just a few seconds ahead of the game clock. It's Lepornik. He's going to have to put it up inside to Vidmar, and a foul against Chanley will send Vidmar back to the free throw line. So 3.5 seconds left. Vidmar, who currently sits 0 for 4 from the free throw line, the chance to knock down his first of the game before the half. And he knocks it down, gets a nice cheer here from the Slovenian fans. And it's a 1-possession game. So 1 for 2 as Osman gets the rebound and get a chance here from half court. Oh, so close for Cedi Osman. And at the half, it's going to be Turkey with the 41-38 lead here in Ljubljana over Slovenia. They're European champions, currently down 3 at the half. So it's been an exciting half, first 20 minutes. Take a look at some of the stats. Turkey doing a lot of damage inside. Both teams knocking down the 3-pointers as well. And both teams also struggling a bit from the free throw line. The rebounding advantage to Slovenia, but Turkey with those 6 steals, able to get some uncontested breakaway dunks and layups to help them build this lead. You see the 4 turnovers versus 9 for Slovenia as well. And we talked about the keys to the game, the defensive pressure from Turkey, creating opportunities, and that's happened. But Slovenia has also made big plays, starting with Meticek, who didn't play in the second quarter after getting off to a quick start. Meticek with just that 4-point play in the first quarter. But you see how many of these has Turkey had. The uncontested dunk There's been one by Ilyasova, a couple by Osman, as well as Korkmaz. So Slovenia will look to get rid of those and get more chances like that by Randolph. They did get a nice lift, though, from their bench with guys like Cibicek and Lepornik coming to the game, knocking down threes. So far, 5 different players for Slovenia got the three-pointers. You see one of those breakaways there from Osman. But Lepornik has 2 threes, Rebic with 1. And then Chanchard, Cibicek, and Misicek also with 1 3-pointer apiece.
Verdik Scotty slide etti. Scotty Furkan.
Slovenia will definitely need more rim protection here in the next 20 minutes and more transition defense as they're just giving away too many dunks to the Turks. And of course, this game is, very meaningful for so many ways, but for one, despite Slovenia being 2-5 coming into this one, they are still ranked 7th in the world. Turkey 5-2, ranked 17th in the world at FIBA. So Turkey, the chance to pull off, quote-unquote, the upset here on the road tonight, which will obviously mean a lot for their confidence. Turkey's last 3 wins, all coming at home in Ankara. Meanwhile, they've lost their last 2 road games, so the chance to win here in Slovenia can mean a lot for this young team that obviously features a few veterans, but still at its core with Korkmaz and Osman quite young in terms of international play. Meanwhile, Slovenia, after losing both games on their home floor in the June-July window to Spain and Montenegro, will be looking to give their fans just the 2nd win at home since the Eurobasket last summer. So we will be back very shortly here for the second half action between Slovenia and Turkey. Make sure you stay tuned in. Welcome back to Ljubljana, where we are in town for this matchup in Group I between Slovenia and Turkey. Turkey enjoying a modest 3-point lead here at the half over Slovenia, as the home side doing their best to stay close. Turkey done a very good job. We talked about their pressure defense, creating opportunities and turnovers for their offense, and they've done just that. A number of uncontested dunks already. They'll start the second half with 10 fast break points to just 2 for Slovenia. There's been 11 lead changes in the game so far, though Turkey has led most of the way for about 12 and a half minutes. Though their biggest lead was just 7 points. Meanwhile, Slovenia had a 3-point lead at 1 point, 27-24, but still 20 minutes to play. You see there Anthony Randolph getting his ankles loose. Randolph playing a very strong first 20 minutes, as we see Scotty Wilbekin getting his wrist taped up, or maybe his thumb. So a lot of players playing through pain and injury here in the final game of the 4th of 6 windows in the qualifiers. A number of teams starting to already cement their spot in the World Cup, including Greece, and just recently Lithuania with a double overtime win over the Netherlands to move to 8-0 and clinch their spot. Meanwhile, Spain escaping with a victory over Latvia 85-82. Elsewhere in Group I, Latvia had the chance to win that game. We're up 1 with a few seconds to go before Cologne was able to get the win for Spain. Meanwhile, Ukraine and Montenegro also playing in Group I. Montenegro with a 3-point lead in that one, as Nikola Ivanovic with 16 points in the first half already. But the big game in Group I is this one in Ljubljana. Slovenia and Turkey getting set to start the second half. You see Ferkman Korkmaz getting the start in the next 20 minutes. He's joined by Osman, Dogush Balbai, Scotty Wilbekin, and Semi Erden. So a couple changes in the starting lineups. Meanwhile, for Slovenia, it's the same 5 that started the game. And it's going to be a steal there. Gasper Vidmar, the great defensive hustle. And he's on the ground, able to find Ribic. So fast with the ball. Randolph, catch and shoot. 3 is good to tie it up. And Anthony Randolph gets off to the same kind of start he had in the first half. He's now got 15 points. Anthony Randolph doing a little bit of everything here tonight already. 15 points, 7 rebounds. As we'll have a foul. Scotty Wilbekin taking a hard fall. And they're going to call it on Blaž Misicek. But you see there, the 2 big men literally fighting for the ball. And Vidmar, the first to the ground, coming away with it. As Korkmaz unable to finish the layup on the cut. And he's able to hustle to get it back. Ribic losing the ball out of bounds. And there's going to be a kickball here by Muric. So Turkey has a chance to regroup. Again, 41-41. We expected a close, competitive game. We've had just that so far. Shetty Osman over to Balbai. And the running play for Korkmaz. Had a little bit of room. Decides to step back 3 and coolly knocks it down. Korkmaz with his first 3-point shot came to the game shooting about 62% from 3. So he definitely hasn't been shy. Just 3 of 4 tonight so far, though, from the field for Korkmaz. 7 points. You'd imagine him to heat up significantly here in the second half. So we're going to have a foul in the backcourt against Osman. Again, neither team able to create too much separation so far in the game. As Mesicek turns the corner and gets all the way to the hoop and one. Blaz Mesicek. We haven't called his name too often here tonight, but when we have, it's been an electrifying play. He got Slovenia started with the and 1-3, and he gets them started in the second half with the and 1 layup. So another three-point play opportunity here for Slovenia and another chance to tie it up at 44. Mesicek does just that. And you see a little bit of backcourt pressure from Slovenia. Again, Turkey playing with 2 point guards in Wilbekin and Balbai. And two great players on the wing with Korkmaz and Osman. Here's Balbai. Wilbekin thought about the three, steps in for two, knocks it down. Scotty Wilbekin, his first point since the first quarter. He's now in double figures with 11. So both teams exchanging baskets here in the first couple of minutes. Ribic over to Randolph. Muric gets Korkmaz off his feet, and it's going to be a shot clock violation. The shot won't count. So good defense that time from Turkey to force the violation. It's the 11th turnover for Slovenia, just 5 for Turkey. Doing a much better job controlling the ball. And good action here on this possession from Turkey. Osman looking for space. Wilbekin gets into the lane, tough shot, and it's going to be no foul there on Vidmar. Semih Erdin just pushed out of the way. Randolph thought about pulling up in transition. Ribic, he gets into the lane, nice feed over to Muric, who gets the ball deflected on the shot. Turkey running back the other way. Osman, he'll step into a long three, knocks it in. Cedi Osman with the confident looking shot. And that's going to lead to a timeout for Slovenia as Turkey is back up 5. And you see the coaching staff looking to talk to the referees about whether or not that last shot by Osman was in fact a three. May have had his toes on the line. So you see the scoring leaders for Slovenia.
Just be more precise. Even if you receive ball and you don't feel like shooting, they are too big. Go outside, and we count 10 more seconds. Okay? Okay, listen now. Make good roll. Listen. Anthony, you are here.
So again, precision, the main point of emphasis for Coach Trifanovic and Slovenia. Coach acknowledging that Turkey might have a size advantage. And you see now 3 players in double figures for Turkey. And you can imagine that Korkmaz not too far behind. We'll take a look here at Osman's feet as he steps into the three-pointer, left foot behind the arc. It seems to be a 3, actually. So the referee is getting that one right on the first go-around. And again, we've had a chance to watch Cedi Osman grow through the years. Really made a name for himself at the Eurobasket last summer, but also as a rookie in the NBA. Had a number of starts. Very active defensively in transition. And a high IQ basketball player. Here's Randolph, though. Goes right at Chanley, who seemed to have his feet set. Took the contact in the chest, but Randolph will head to the free throw line. So Chanley picking up his second foul. You see here Randolph going right into the chest of Chanley. And Randolph knocks down the first free throw. So a great game so far for Randolph. He's shown a nice touch from everywhere he shot from. He's perfect from the free throw line. Also knocked down the three, as well as a number of mid-range shots. Here's Korkmaz now. Turns the corner, elevates, throws it away. Slovenia 3-on-2. Nobody stops Ribic. Misicek looking to push it out, but he's fortunate to not turn it over. Randolph pump fake. Goes to the basket strong, and we'll head back to the free throw line for two more. Smart move that time from Randolph. Gets Chanley off his feet, and ball by, who is extremely athletic for the point guard position, but commits a foul right around the head area, sending Randolph to the ground. So third foul for Dogush Balbai. Randolph with a chance for his 18th and 19th point. And in and out on the first. So Randolph splitting the free throws on that trip, much to the delight of the fans. And once again, we're seeing the press here from Slovenia, looking to take the ball out of Balbai's hands. Balbai with 7 assists. And Osman, nice little crossover. Scotty Wilbekin wide open. That's too much room for Scotty Wilbekin, who knocks down his 4th three-pointer of the evening. He's got 14 points on the night. Don't mind that graphic down there. And Ribic probing to hopefully respond and throws the ball away. Miscommunication between him and Misicek, as he wanted him to fade to the corner, and that's going to take Ribic out of the game and bring back in Prupnik. And Rupnik, who had, again, 19 points, 3 of 5 threes, and 4 assists on Friday. So far, scoreless here tonight. Meanwhile, Osman, another three. This time it's just a bit to the right, as Turkey was looking for their biggest lead. Meanwhile, Slovenia still knocking on the door. See the rebounding numbers. And Rupnik gets the switch on Chanley, and he throws it away. Osman, breakaway opportunity. Oh, he loses it, but he's able to gather it and reverse lays it in. You see the smile there on Osman's face. He's probably thinking about the highlight dump. Fortunate to come away with 2, but Osman once again taking advantage of that pressure Turkey defense. You see the help side, and Osman gets to the passing lane and then has the quickness to get away and the concentration to finish despite the fumble. So not the prettiest fast break finish you'll ever see, but 2 points nonetheless for Osman, who now has 16 on the night, to go along with 7 rebounds and a couple of steals. Meanwhile, Vlatko Chanchar back into the game for Slovenia. Randolph now with 20 points already after just 25 minutes of action. And he's guarding Osman. So again, showing his versatility defensively. And Wilbekin, another three, in and out this time. And the battle for the rebound ends up with Rupnik's hands. And he's able to draw fouls. He's able to, well, he's looking to get away from the Turkish defense. And we'll see who they give the foul to, as Rupnik looks to split the triple team. See Coach Sharika wanted to travel, but Wilbekin will pick up that foul. Turkey in the penalty, 5 fouls. So Slovenia in the bonus the rest of the way. Slovenia, meanwhile, just 1 team foul. And Rupnik Gets a nice friendly bounce on that free throw. Again, you wouldn't expect the score to be so close. It feels like Turkey is playing or outplaying Slovenia, but whether it's the home crowd still riding that wave for the Eurobasket Championship, Slovenia still in this game, just down 4 as Rupnik misses that second free throw. Here's ball by now. Korkmaz, who on the rip through draws a foul on Chanchar. It's a second team foul, as we mentioned, for Slovenia. Second personal foul on Chanchar. And Korkmaz finding the room for the three. He's so good. Unbelievable shot there from Korkmaz. He's starting to heat up now. 10 points on the night. Second three. Again, really growing into that role as a lethal scorer. As Medicek going right at Chanley all the way to the rim for the lay-in. And Mesicek now with 9 points despite limited minutes. Meanwhile, for Turkey, it's been the Wilbekin, Osman, Korkmaz show as Mesicek picks up the foul, trying to fight over the screen. And Cebicek will come back into the game on 55 for Slovenia. You see Mesicek falls to the floor, looking to get around Chanley. Meanwhile, nice round of applause for Randolph as he heads to the bench. And Korkmaz again over to Osman. Another uncontested three and another basket for Turkey. And they're getting wide open looks at the rim now. Great execution on offense to free up Osman, pushing the Turkish lead up to 8. And Osman and Korkmaz back and forth with the three-pointers here in the third quarter. It's already the 10th three-pointer of the night for Turkey. 10-19. You see there the overall field goals. Turkey hovering around the 50% mark. Also 10 more shot attempts there for Turkey, courtesy of the Slovenian turnovers. So Cedi Osman with another Osman-looking line. You see there Turkey with the advantage consistently in all three quarters so far, but Osman 19 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. And we still have over a quarter to play here in Slovenia. So the Slovenians find themselves down 8. Just over 3.5 to go in the third quarter. Rupnik over to Mesicek. Cebicek also in the game. Vidmar and Chanchar. Vidmar turns the corner, draws the foul on Chanley. See Vidmar able to get Chanley on his hip. So Vidmar heads back to the free throw line for 2 more. And he knocks down another one. So Vidmar now 2 of 7 overall. He only has 1 field goal tonight. And he misses that second free throw as well. So Slovenia now 14 of 23 overall, 61%. It's Korkmaz from way out. No good that time. Vidmar comes away with a rebound. Sets the screen for Rupnik, who creates a little bit of space. Nice deflection from Wilbekin. Able to get into the passing lane. Misicek leaves his feet. Vidmar throws it down. Nice two-man game action there between Misicek and Gasper Vidmar. And it's another throw down for the big man. And it leads back down to 5. Meanwhile, Osman over to Wilbekin. Oh, Korkmaz wide open. Nice little runner there from Furkan Korkmaz. And he continues his assault here in the third quarter. And Misicek airballs it. Osman, another rebound as he gets closer to a double-double. Osman content to just use up some clock on this possession. Finds Chanley, catch and shoot. No good. The hustle from Korkmaz leads to Wilbekin getting another possession for Turkey. Osman and Chanley, another two-man game. And Osman steps into another 3. This time off the back rim. Vidmar secures the rebound. Slovenia pushes. Little no-look. Chanchar. Oh, good spin move. Chanchar with the lay-in. And that's going to lead to a timeout. Coach Sharika wanting to talk things over. Wants to limit any Slovenian momentum, but look at this quick turn from Chanchar. Puts Chanley off balance and gets the lay-in.
Helal. 5 side oynayacağız. 5 side.
So we haven't seen Ersan Ilyasova so far in the second half.
Burada Cedi veya Furkan var.
The veteran who had 10 points in that first half to go along with 3 rebounds, also had 3 personal fouls. So not sure if it's a matter of Coach Sharika saving him for the fourth quarter. Though there are 5 Turkish players currently with 3 fouls, including Balbay, Osman, Chanley, and Erden. You can see the 3-point numbers. Turkey, 10 of 30 overall, which is actually 33%, but they're actually 10 of 21 overall, which is 47% is Turkey. You see Vidmar there on that dunk. So again, 10 knocked down threes for Turkey, just 7 for Slovenia. Minute 50 to go in the third quarter. Turkey with a 5-point lead. So Wilbekin will initiate the offense. You see a 2-3 zone look here defensively. Now back to a man-to-man for Slovenia. Korkmaz turns the corner and finishes strong at the hoop. Again, he's got the outside game, but also able to score off the dribble. And Korkmaz now with 14 on the night. Again, just 21 years old, Korkmaz, as Chanchar able to respond with a long 2. Wilbekin gets the screen from Chanley. Here's Ilyasova back into the game. Nice backdoor cut. Osman over to Korkmaz, catch and shoot. Woo, he's feeling it. Another 3-point shot for Korkmaz. And him and Osman really have a nice chemistry between one another. As Chanchar unable to respond this time. And it's an 8-point lead for Turkey. Meanwhile, Korkmaz 17 points on 7 of 9 shooting. So only missing 2 shots. Meanwhile, Slovenia had a foul to give, so Rupnik will pick up that one. Osman now with 19 points and 10 rebounds, so a double-double for Osman. You see there the nice pass on the money. Took Korkmaz 4-3. So Turkey with a chance to get its first double-digit lead of the game. And Osman will pick up the offensive foul. The referee seemed to have thought he pushed off with the off arm. Osman claiming that he did nothing wrong. We'll take another look here. Cebicek moves his feet, and you see that left forearm moving just enough. As Wilbekin will check out of the game for the last 20-plus seconds here. And I imagine Cedi Osman will as well, as he now has 4 fouls. So, 1 foul away from fouling out for Osman. See Slovenia just 13 fouls on the night. Very disciplined defense. It's still down 8. Korkmaz, great job denying Lepornik. Here's Rupnik. Chanchar goes into Chanley. Can't finish to the contact. Vidmar. And no foul called. We'll see what the referees decide to do, if they're going to put any time on the clock. Turkey obviously walking to their bench. So we'll probably take a look here at how much time should go back on. No foul was called. But Mazzoni will go to the table to sort out. Maybe half a second left on the game clock, I'd assume. Not much more than that. You see Chanchar gets into the lane. Keep your eye on the game clock as Vidmar comes in for the offensive rebound. And the ball goes out of bounds. Maybe 0.3 would be the most. So it looks like Mazzoni will give Slovenia a chance to get a shot off. It is going to be well, it says 1 at the moment, but I think it will be 0.3. Or 0.2 at the moment. So not enough time for a catch and shoot, only enough time for a tip. We'll see if Slovenia has any tricks up their sleeve to get an attempt. Obviously, Turkey, you don't want to foul. And, yep, it's going to be just a turnover for Slovenia. So, after 3 quarters, Turkey with an 8-point lead, 67-59 over Slovenia here in Ljubljana. Slovenia with 10 minutes to go to hopefully pull out of this losing streak that they're currently in. Make sure you download the FIBA World Cup Qualifier app for your smartphone devices. You can get all the news, updates, highlights, recaps, scores of all the games. Meanwhile, in this game, you see the stats so far. Slovenia doing a good job shooting from inside the arc, but Turkey with the advantage from beyond the arc as well as on the free throws. And it's this man right here, Korkmaz, who really came alive in that 3rd quarter. Him and Cedi Osman basically going back and forth, taking turns, scoring for Turkey. As 4 players currently in double figures for the Turkish national team, led by Osman with 19, Korkmaz with 17, Wilbekin with 14, and Ilyasova still with the 10 from the first half. Meanwhile, for Slovenia, it's Anthony Randolph doing a lot of the damage. He's got 20 points and 7 rebounds, while Misicek finds himself with 9 and Lepornik with 8. So again, Slovenia struggling to find that second scorer. Vidmar did have a monster dunk, and he also came into this game as their leading scorer across the qualifiers, but so far, Vidmar just 6 points. 4th quarter underway. You see ball by, putting the pressure on the backcourt against Rupnik. And a near steal as Randolph back in the game. And another deflection, this time from Korkmaz. So Slovenia with 5 seconds on the shot clock. And again, a Slovenian team still searching for its identity post Goran Dragic. As Rupnik throws it up to the basket, Vidmar, nice catch. And the ball will stay with Slovenia, 1.4 on the shot clock. See Vidmar had to do a lot just to catch it. Didn't have room to go anywhere and threw it off the Turkish defender. And a nice feed inside from Rupnik to Lepornik. And there's a foul on Korkmaz as he gets called for the hold. So third foul on Korkmaz. Shot clock will reset to 14. And Lepornik, quick catch and shoot is good for Michal Lepornik, and he's now in double figures with 10. So the last shot was a two-pointer for Lepornik. And Osman back in the game despite the 4 fouls. Ilyasova, there's that famous pump fake again. Extra pass, Korkmaz this time can't finish. Randolph with the rebound, and he'll bring it up. Quick pass inside to Vidmar, goes right at Chanley, and draws another foul. So Vidmar is so proficient at using his strength to create space, which will bring Semih Erden back into the game. So Slovenia just down 6 now. Plenty of time. Again, the fourth quarter is where they found themselves in trouble against Latvia on Friday. They came into that game 60-60 at the end of 3 and let the game slip away from them in the fourth quarter. We'll see if they can prevent that here tonight. Rupnik. Chanchar inside to Randolph, who's got Osman on him. And Randolph gets the N1 opportunity. And we'll see who they call that foul on. That could be 5 on Osman, as Randolph, with his 22nd point of the night, elevates, hangs, and that will be 5 fouls on Cedi Osman. And Osman, who up to this point had been the player of the game. And it appears that they're not going to give the foul to Osman. You see the fans here not liking it too much. Osman, meanwhile, turns the corner, flies through contact, no basket. Erden, the offensive rebound. Here's Ilyasova. He gets the bump, and he'll get a chance for the three-point play. What a response there from Turkey to slow down the momentum. Slovenia had cut the game down to 3. You see Ilyasova absorbs the bump and finishes through the contact. So Randolph picking up his second foul. Ilyasova completes a three-point play, pushed the lead back out to 6. And Osman was replaced by Scotty Wilbekin. Here's Randolph again. Step back 3, this time no good. Erden gets the rebound. So at the moment, Osman still down for 5 fouls. We'll see if they get that sorted. Here's Ilyasova now. And Lepornik picks up a cheap foul, reaching in for the steal. Just his first. Misicek also comes back into the game. Ilyasova, the long two, just short. And in the fight for the rebound, Randolph comes away with it after Korkmaz had the tip opportunity. And Randolph can't finish that one. Ball by, skies in for the rebound. Good hustle from both Turkish guards. And Korkmaz, nice pump fake, turns the corner. And they're gonna call the unsportsmanlike on Laportnik. You can see he's not happy with that call. Korkmaz did have a clear lane to the basket. As you see, Laportnik didn't make a, we're gonna call it an exact play on the ball. Meanwhile, Korkmaz knocking down the first free throw. So 2 for 2 for Korkmaz. Give him 19 on the night. Also has 3 steals. Ball by, avoids the pressure from Ribic. Ilyasova, turn and shoot. No good on Randolph. Ribic battling with the other point guard for the rebound. 8-point lead now for Turkey. Randolph in and out dribble, draws a foul, and a little bit of extracurricular activity after the whistle's blown, but all that was Semih Erden making sure that Randolph didn't finish the and one. A lot of the ball there, actually. So Erden picking up his 4th foul. You see Randolph's numbers, and he adds to that. Randolph now 9 of 10 from the free throw line. So 1 for 2 on that trip for Randolph. Wilbekin with pressure from Ribic. And Wilbekin able to smartly pick up a foul on Ribic, who turns his aggression against him. And Slovenia now picking up their 4th team foul of the quarter already, and we have 7 minutes left. So both teams now in the bonus. As we're taking a look at that missed Randolph shot, the ball swiped off the rim. Oh, nice backdoor cut. Korkmaz was in trouble, and there's gonna be an unsportsmanlike foul in the backcourt. Semih Erden saying he didn't touch him, but there was a clear path opportunity for Slovenia, and you see Mesicek was out. And Semih Erden now fouls out of the game. Once again, pleading his case with 2 free throws nonetheless to come now for Slovenia, as well as the possession. So Semih Erden fouls out with just 2 points. 1 of 4 shooting, did have 5 rebounds. And it's Ribic at the line for 2. Calmly knocks down the first. Ribic, 75% free throw shooter coming into tonight. Nothing but nylon on both attempts this time. Slovenia again down 5. They haven't been able to tie it up or take the lead so far in the second half. And Ribic almost makes it a 5-point possession by himself, but misses the 3. So Turkey will walk it up. Wilbekin Gets a screen here from Arar, who's back in the game. And Wilbekin will pick up a foul, or draw the foul, should I say, and head to the free throw line. So again, both teams in the bonus the rest of the way. Slovenia has so far taken 18 more free throws than Turkey, but Wilbekin able to connect on this one. Here's Lepornik, turns the corner. Vidmar, ooh, elevates over Arar, and they're going to call a foul. It was almost a poster jam for Vidmar, and Arar, who did a great job getting between Vidmar and the basket. And you see, definitely hacked him on that forearm, preventing the 2 points by Vidmar and sending him to the free throw line where he has struggled here tonight. Again, Vidmar just 2 of 8. Make that 2 of 9. So a smart foul on that particular attempt by Arar. And again, 0 for 2, but Randolph able to get the offensive board. And Korkmaz deflects it out of bounds. So Randolph now with 24 points and 10 rebounds. So a double-double for him to match Cedi Osman's double-double. Here's Mesicek, gets around, can't finish the layup. And how many missed layups have we seen here so far tonight? Though Slovenia fortunate to maintain possession as Turkey couldn't secure the defensive rebound. And Mesicek right there at the rim. Can't connect. A nice steal there from Balbai, but Rebic hustles and gets it back. Mesicek turns the corner, lane is good off the glass, no foul called. But Mesicek rewarded for his hustle. He's now in double figures. So it's a 5-point game as we near the 5-minute mark in the fourth. Ilyasova takes the 3, in and out. Meanwhile, Rebic will run the show here for Slovenia. Fans are into it. Mesicek, he's a confident young man. Will he take it upon himself? Drives, kicks it, Lepornik, the 3. Ooh, no good. That would have been a big one. Would have brought the deficit down to 2. Meanwhile, Turkey, can they execute down the stretch with the lead? Here's Korkmaz. Gets into the lane, gets the bump, gets the and one opportunity. Furkan Korkmaz. He's now at 21 points. Randolph picking up the foul. You see the nice hesitation dribble. Finds the contact, finds the backboard, lays it in. Randolph picking up his 4th foul. But Korkmaz, who's been very efficient in these qualifiers for Turkey, again, came in averaging 19 points per game on 55% shooting, 62% from 3. But he can't finish the N1 on that particular trip. So Turkey still up 7. Here's Mesicek. He'll take the long 2. He'll knock down the long 2 right over Wilbekin. And once again, he's filling it. Now at 13 points. Ilyasova. He can't finish, but ball by. As the box out was missed, ball by is hurt. And Korkmaz gets called for the foul. He picks up his third. Ball by. Going to try to walk it off. Again, ball by. Incredibly athletic point guard. Almost had a nifty putback, and Osman will check back into the game. So the scorecard was wrong in terms of the fouls attributed to Osman. He must have 4. And Ribic missing another free throw. So Slovenia getting a number of chances to cut into this deficit, but they've already missed 13 free throws here tonight. And Rebic misses both. Meanwhile, Randolph seems to be cramping in the backcourt. Numbers here for Turkey. Korkmaz gets into the lane, can't finish. They've got numbers. It's Wilbekin, wide open 3. He knocks it down. As there was a lot of confusion defensively. You see the cramps. Both teams starting to lose a couple of players to cramps, it seems. Big shot, though, there from Wilbekin. It's going to be an offensive foul. Misicek knocks down Korkmaz while trying to get open. And he picks up his 4th foul. So you see Korkmaz there. A little bit of an acting job, but Misicek definitely using that left forearm to create space. So now Korkmaz, Osman, and Wilbekin with 21, 19, and 19 apiece. You see Trifunovic already with 1 technical foul. Has to be careful as he's making his argument. Meanwhile, the Bulgarian referee signals that we're all good. And it's another technical foul on the bench. So Korkmaz will knock down that free throw. Again, the frustrations are mounting now for Slovenia. They cut it down to a 1-possession game. And they can't let it slip away from them now. Here's Wilbekin. Korkmaz seems to drag that foot a little bit. Wilbekin inside to Ilyasova, who gets a near and 1 opportunity. The ball circles back out, but he'll head to the free throw line for 2. So Ilyasova going right at Michal Lapornik. And another missed free throw for Ilyasova, who's now 5 of 8 on the night. And an empty trip. So no harm done after the Lapornik foul. Slovenia still down 9. Here's Lapornik. And Cebicek loses it. Numbers. Cedi Osman so good in transition, but he misses the layup. Blown opportunities on both sides now. And they're going to call a foul on Arar, whose momentum carried him to the ball handler. His 4th foul. Again, Arar, who fouled out in just 11 minutes of play on Friday, now finds himself with 4 fouls in 8 minutes, despite having no field goal attempts in this one. Another missed free throw for Slovenia. They are now 18 of 33. But Misicek able to knock down the second. He's been their best player here in the second half, alongside Randolph. Misicek now with 14 points on the night. Randolph 24 still leads the way for all scorers. And Wilbekin. Ilyasova thought about the 3, give and go. And Wilbekin, nice crossover dribble, gets the space, and banks in the 3. and seems to be hurt. So cramping. He's grabbing his knee. But Scotty Wilbekin, who knocks down the three and then collapses to the floor. The 13th three of the night for Turkey. And none bigger than that one. Gasper Vidmar draped all over him. You see the crossover to create the room. And Wilbekin, who gingerly grabs that calf. You've seen a lot of players on both sides go down with cramps. Obviously, one of the reasons you want to stay hydrated, especially given the heat. Both teams sitting on 19 assists here so far. Turkey shooting 30 for 67 overall, 45%. Meanwhile, Slovenia 23 for 52, 44%. But their free throws, again, 15 missed free throws for Slovenia, causing a lot of damages. Wilbekin able to walk off his own power. And you see Anthony Randolph checking in on him. So good chance that Wilbekin will have to check out of the game. But with both point guards facing cramping issues, ball by, we'll have to try to push through. See the foul trouble for both teams. Misicek and Randolph with 4. Obviously, Semir Erdin already fouled out for Turkey. And Ribic, tough shot that time. It's an air ball. And the lob, not a smart pass that time from Ilyasova. Not sure you needed that one. Meanwhile, Lepornik takes the 3, misses. Randolph gets the offensive rebound. So Slovenia needs to play with urgency now. Randolph, a lot of dribbling, and he'll feed Vidmar inside. Nice help side defense from ball by as there's half a second left on the shot clock. And you see there, ball by, able to deflect the pass out of bounds. Randolph also seems to be cramping. Here comes Chanchar back into the game to try to make one more push in this comeback. So 2:08 left here in the fourth. Turkey with an 11-point lead, their largest of the night. And Lepornik, you see the frustration there as he smacks the signage. So for Slovenia, Chanchar, Misicek, Randolph, Rebic, and Vidmar. Meanwhile for Turkey, it's Arar, Balbay, Ilyasova, Korkmaz, and Osman. As the referees put 1.8 seconds back on the shot clock. Make that 1 point, never mind, it was 1.6. And we'll see what they decide to go with. Again, Chanchar, who's played only 15 minutes here so far, 7 points for a player who started many of the games last summer. There was initially 0.5 seconds on the shot clock. We'll see if they do decide to go with 0.8. So Metin Turin checks back in for Korkmaz, who's pretty much played the entire second half. And another turnover. Here comes Osman all the way, missing another layup in transition. So Osman gets a steal but can't finish. Meanwhile, Randolph, he'll take the 3. And both teams are cold as the tip-in magically drops through the net for Slovenia. And we're going to have a much-needed timeout on the floor as you see a lot of dead bodies. As Vidmar will probably be credited for that basket as it went off Arar who has yet to score for his own team, but manages to score for Slovenia.
Helal, daha çok var ama bir tane iki tane.
So 83 to 74 now. 9-point deficit. Slovenia under 2 minutes to go.
Şöyleyiz.
Still plenty of time.
Yapacak.
Just 3 3-pointers. And they're right back into this game. Obviously need a couple more stops.
Furkan.
Turkey has cooled off here in the fourth.
Esas Cedi'ye pik yapacağız. Ama Cedi şu.
He helped like here. Every time when we start, Mura and Anthony pin downs, and then whenever you pass, just try to attack and keep spacing. Okay? Let's go, let's go!
Slovenia, who only had 2 fast break points at the half, now with 13 in the game. And you can see that's helped them increase that field goal percentage, which was in the low 30s for most of the first half. And again, it's near desperation time now for Slovenia, who will not be nominally disqualified if they don't win tonight, but it will make it that much more difficult for themselves. So Osman will look to run things. Goes right at Mitrovic, ball by. Korkmaz creates a little bit of space, and he draws the foul on Chanchar. So 2 free throws to come now for Korkmaz. Just 3 of 4 from the free throw line. And he knocks down the first. With this next free throw, if he makes it, he'll tie Anthony Randolph as the scoring leader for tonight's game. And the great thing about Korkmaz, he's not necessarily a volume scorer. Doesn't need that many shots to get his points. He's very efficient from the field, from 3, can also score in so many different ways. As you see, Scotty Wilbekin checks back in after getting some treatment for his cramps. Ribic over to Muric, whose name we haven't called at all in the second half. He misses the 3. Ilyasova. And now it's Osman, as Turkey happy to just use up as much clock as possible. And Osman, as they look to get the ball inside to Ilyasova, under 5 on the shot clock. Little bump, and Ilyasova can't finish. But Ribic fouls Arar after he gets the offensive rebound. So 3rd foul on Ribic. 2 free throws to come, and it seems like Coach Trifunovic will throw in the towel as he gives Randolph a chance to get a nice ovation from the fans. Randolph will exit the game 24 points, 12 rebounds on 7 of 14 shooting. Also 9 of 11 from the free throw line. So a great game from Anthony Randolph here in his first home game for Slovenia of his European qualifiers. Meanwhile, Arar misses both free throws. Slovenia has to go fast now. The kick out, Chanchar for 3, knocks it down, and the door stays open. It's an 8-point game. Chanchar now in double figures. Also checking into the game for Slovenia was Makara. And at this point, Slovenia can't worry about point differential. They need to force steals and stop the clock. They get the trap, and it's a steal nearly. Chanchar can't get away with it. Here's Osman now. And he looks at Machura. Ilyasova on the block again. Goes baseline and picks up a foul on Muric. So Ilyasova will head back to the free throw line again. Frustrating night there for Edo Muric. Just 2 points. We're going to have a timeout on the floor. So 28.8 seconds left. Turkey with an 8-point lead over Slovenia. Turkey has pretty much controlled this game throughout. The biggest lead for Slovenia, just 3 points. And Turkey has been up for pretty much 31 minutes of the game. You see the scoring has been even in this fourth quarter, but Turkey coming out on top in the first 3. Definitely point out Turkey's 3-point percentage is one of the reasons for their lead. 13 of 28, 46% from 3 is Turkey. Meanwhile, they're just 17 of 41 from 2, so shooting better from 3 than from inside the arc. So the fans still cheering their team on in the last 30 or so seconds. Ilyasova will step up to the free throw line. And he misses yet another one. So Ersan just 5 of 10 from the free throw line. 4 from 14 overall. And he goes 1 for 2. So Ribic will run. This should be one of the last plays here for Slovenia, who will fall to 2 and 6 in the qualifiers as Balbai comes away with the steal, and Turkey will just be able to get another layup attempt. Nope, but Korkmaz can't get the putback, and Balbai can't finish either. And as the buzzer sounds, that will do it from here in Ljubljana. Turkey coming out on top over Slovenia, 86-77. A big road win for Turkey as they defeat the European champions on their home turf. Once again, it's Turkey, 86-77 over Slovenia. See the respect between these two teams. Slovenia, who had their magical run to the Eurobasket 2017 championship in Istanbul. And so many players to really point out in this Turkish victory. Of course, Korkmaz leading the way, 24 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 steals. Scotty Wilbekin, 22 points, 7-11 shooting, including 6 of 8 from 3. Also had 4 assists. And then can't forget about Cedi Osman, 19 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 steals himself. And when you have 3 players score 20-plus points in the efficiency category, that usually leads to a good night. Take a look at the stats. The 3-pointers, main highlight for Turkey, 46%. Both teams struggling from the free throw line. You see they're in the 50s. Slovenia with the rebounding advantage. With those 12 steals for Turkey also made a massive difference, led to a number of fast break and uncontested dunks. And Turkey also doing a great job of limiting their turnovers, staying in single digits, just 9, while Slovenia doubled them up with 18. Meanwhile, for Slovenia, their leaders, Randolph, 24 points and 12 rebounds to lead the way. Rupnik off the bench with 6 assists. And for Korkmaz, we mentioned 24 points, Osman 11 rebounds. Balbai did have 7 assists, running the show despite a scoreless performance from him. But some quality scoring, helping Turkey get 86 points on the board here in what is their 6th Group I victory. They now move to 6-2 against Spain. Finish their game. And take a look at some of the highlights of this second half, including Cedi Osman. But Spain came out on top of Latvia 85-82 earlier tonight to keep them at 7-1 and lead the way in Group I. Meanwhile, Montenegro with a big win over Ukraine, 90-84 in the Ukraine. So Group I at the moment, Turkey 6-2 in second place, Latvia 5-3 in third, and then Ukraine and Montenegro tied at 4-4 and struggling and reeling behind them is Slovenia at 2-6. So Ukraine and Montenegro, whose game was very, very even throughout, and they now sit at an even record. Meanwhile, Turkey, with their win, able to create a little bit of distance between them and Latvia, the one-game advantage. These two teams will obviously be back in action in a few months. Slovenia will they'll head to Ukraine on the 29th of November and then host Latvia on the 2nd of December. So 2 more big games for them. Meanwhile, for Turkey, after having 3 consecutive home games and then now this road game, they will be back at home in a marquee matchup on the 29th of November against the leaders Spain. And then they will travel to Montenegro a few days later to battle, obviously, Montenegro. And then Turkey and Slovenia will have their rematch in the 6th and final window of the qualifiers on the 22nd of February. And then we could potentially decide the winner of Group I on Monday, the 25th of February. Spain and Turkey will face off in Spain. So this now concludes Turkey's 4th window of 6. They will happily move up to a 6-2 record. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will be back later on livebasketball.tv as well as the FIBA website with all the highlights from the game and the press conference. Thank you for watching. Good night.